What's going on, guys? This is Multicubing here, and welcome back once again to the simple 3x3 tutorial series. Today we are going to be working on the corner now that we have finished the work that we needed to do on the edge piece. So once again, just like last time, I'm going to make sure first of all it wants me to update it, so there we go. And I'm going to right click on the corner and hit open just like before. So there we go, we have our corner, and if you didn't add the torpedo in the last part of the series, you will not have this, but for those of you who do, the first step you're going to need to do is use delete face and select these four faces and check heal, and that'll be that gone, because that is not necessary. Before we do any filleting, we need to do one thing, since if you added to torpedo, you can need to do this. If you didn't, this is not important. You don't need to do this if you didn't add the torpedo, so you just gotta, if you did, you need to use the thicken tool and select this face and remove 0.3 millimeters from it. And there you go. That'll again help reduce friction and things like that. So, now I'm going to move on to filleting. And first thing I'm going to do, and again, just like in the last part, you can either choose to just do solid fillets on these corners, making sure that they're not too large. So in this case, 1 millimeter is probably as far as you're going to get, maybe 1.5. And that's not very much. So if you don't want to, if you want to be again a bit more complicated and not stick with pieces that will turn out looking like the Rubik's brand, you can use once again our lovely friend, the variable fillet. So what you want to do for this, I'm going to make the inside about 1 millimeter. I'm going to make the outside a nice 4. Not too round, because in this series I don't think I'm going to show how to make square off corners. I might include that as an extra thing at the end. But for now we're just going to stick with corners that aren't super round, so that way it doesn't corner twist super easily. So about 4 millimeters and 1 millimeter on the inside should be good. Got to make sure that the connection to the foot of the corner is strong enough. If we fillet it too much, it will be weak, and there will be a chance of it breaking when you print the pieces. So we're going to use 4 there, and again 1 here. Now I'm going to take a look at the piece and see. Okay, I think it might be a better idea if we use the same amount of rounding as the edge. So we're going to change this to 5 everywhere, just for consistency's sake, and it'll help the cube work just a little bit better. So now that that is done, and it's time we can move on to doing the outer fillets just like last time. We use 2 millimeters on these edges, on the actual edge piece, and then 1 millimeter on the rest of the outer surfaces, like these ones. So there you go. Now that that's done, we can hit apply and move on to the next part. So I'm going to go ahead and round off this bit by only 0.5, because the sharp bits will still help a little bit with reducing corner twisting, I mean. And then you can go ahead and round off these sharp points by maybe 1 millimeter. These, it is not super beneficial to corner cutting to round these a lot, so I tend to avoid rounding them too much. So about maybe like 1.5 millimeters is what I'm going to use for this. Because if you round these pieces too much, then it will result in it being easier to corner twist, and that's never a good thing. And then hit apply again. So now these are all one curve, so it's easier to fillet. And this is the one case if you're doing this kind of simple design where there's no corner stock, it's better. It is okay to do this, especially if you did the chamfer on the edge in the last part. If the edge has been chamfered, then these parts are not going to interact very much, so it's okay to put like a 0.25 millimeter fillet there. And after that, I'm going to go ahead and put a 0.5 millimeter fillet on this and this surface, and that should be everything for the corner piece. So as you can see, this was a much easier step than the edge, and I'm going to save it. And that should be everything. Of course, you can customize, just like with everything, you can customize all this to your preference. But this is, I think, what should be a generally good corner. And if we go back to base in the assembly, we can see that this is starting to look a bit more like a finished product, which is very nice. And just as I talked about, you can see that the part that we rounded off here isn't touching the edge because of the chamfer, so that's fine. So yeah, that's going to be it for this episode of this 3x3 tutorial series. I hope you enjoyed and found this informative. If you did, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to see the rest of the series as I start wrapping it up as we're nearing the end of it. And anyway, I'm Multicubing, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.